Let me tell you something. A driver don't pick the car. The car pick the driver. It's a mystical bond between man and machine. It's a mystical bond between man.
What's up, you beautiful collectors and Transformer fans? Once again, it's the one and only Optibotimus coming at you with another video review. And on today's episode, thanks to all of the absolutely incredible contributions from my Optibotimus Plus channel members, we're going to be taking a look at the new Transformers Studio Series Deluxe Class Ratchet, as he appeared in the Transformers Bumblebee film. One of the Autobots that we saw battling on Cybertron, much like all of these new Studio Series figures that we've gotten from the Bumblebee film. Ratchet here has a completely unique and made-up alt mode. Although, honestly, again, all of these new figures, their alt modes work beautifully. He kind of looks like a alien Cybertronian ambulance. Granted, he doesn't have any like the crosses or anything like that, but you can see you have this really nice white paint with a couple red highlights throughout there. You got the black tires with some white around the rim. You have a clear blue window, which again, I don't know why they need windows, because I don't know how they are going to drive around with people in there or whatever, but still looks cool. You can see that you can store his weapon here at the top. You got a little plug right there. Really nice gunmetal gray on there with a tremendous amount of detail throughout the entire thing. But overall, again, very, very nice looking vehicle mode. Good size, I guess. Let me bring in the only other one that I have in vehicle mode is Brawn right here. So you can see that the scale works perfectly fine. And I know somebody was asking in a comment section if you can take this and rotate this all the way around so it can store underneath there. It can't. Number one, there's really not enough space per se between getting that in there and then the tires. And then this section right here doesn't rotate all the way around. It stops right there. So you can't really do anything with it. And yes, I know that the drill, and I didn't mention in the video, but I know that the drill is a nice homage to Brawn having a drill in one of the first episodes of Transformers. So I get all that, guys. Some things get cut and some things I just entirely forget about. But Ratchet here does look really nice. Rolls fairly well. Solidly. I mean, good detail around the entire thing. I am really impressed. And the transformation on this guy is a bit origami-ish, and to this day, I've transformed this thing a couple dozen times, and I still seem to kind of mess it up each time. So first, I'm going to pull these parts away just like so. Come around to the underside here, and you can kind of loosen up these little shoulder bits, right, or not shoulder, but these forearm sections. Just kind of detach that, and then this kind of pull away. You got a little tab that's going to lock in there. Do that on both sides, right there, and that kind of swivels out. Okay, and then pull all the way out just like so. Take this entire top section here. If that didn't dislodge, lift that up like that. And this is where things get kind of origami-ish. So you have these little feet that rest on here. So you're going to rotate these down just like that. And then this whole section is going to swivel around. And then that comes all the way down. That's, believe it or not, is a tricky process to try and remember. Fold that all the way down, just like so, and then you're going to take these thighs in, or the lower section of the legs, and rotate that around just like that. This whole section here is going to swivel down and around and collapse in on itself. Bring that down and around, and then this is going to go up and over, and I love how it's actually kind of funny. You got this piece right here, which totally looks like it's cut out to go over his head. That's fun. Bring that all the way in. That will lock down. You got a little post here that's going to lock to the underside here. Get that in just like that. Nice and secure. Rotate these all the way back and around. And then you have little holes and pegs that are going to lock in. Just line that up. Squeeze that in. Squeeze that in. Bring these forward a little bit. Rotate his hands. I like how they actually latch into place. You can hear it when you do it, so that's really nice. Kind of straighten everything out, and when you're done, there you have an absolutely gorgeous looking Ratchet in an extremely accurate looking robot mode. And again, another absolute wonderful recreation of how he looked in the film. taking him off and setting him off to the side, bringing out that image so that you can see how he kind of stacks up with this CGI look. As you can see, nails it. The Hasbro team did a terrific job of taking that and recreating it in terms of robot mode and utilizing what they had to go on, make a really cool looking vehicle mode. Now, for his weapon, as you can see, you can have him hold it pretty decently. You can also have him stored here in the back. You got a little rectangular section right here. It's kind of weird. You got a little post on that side. You can plug that right in there. Although, I'm like, that's probably the best looking way to do it. But I guess you could have him reach around there and like pull it out or something like that. Otherwise, it kind of looks weird putting it like that. Whatever you want to do. I did forget to show this part, though. This section here actually does rotate around, not that way. That actually rotates around, and you got a soft ratchet joint which locks it into place. So that actually completes the look for him and really cleans up the legs a lot nicer. But this guy looks fantastic. Really very cool. Coming in to take a closer look. Head sculpt is amazing. I love what they did with it. Has a very movie aesthetic while updating it to give it a G1 style look with like the crest right there. Coloring looks really very nice. That chest section here for the robot mode being the front of the vehicle mode works out really nicely. The white looks really good as well. It's got a real good color. It's not like some of it is a molded white, but there's a lot of white paint on here too, which does come across really nice. Some extra accents with the gray, the black, everything really does come together kind of perfectly in terms of the overall look of recreating Ratchet. I really, really do. Cannot wait to get Ironhide with this one. I mean, you know that we're going to get it, so it's going to happen. Now, for some comparisons, let's bring in some other Autobots. Everybody keeps saying, why don't I bring in Optimus Prime? Well, because honestly, I think I got rid of Optimus Prime, which kind of bums me out because now I basically don't have an Optimus Prime and I have all these Autobots here. So here is the Autobots that I currently have, and I think, again, great looking scale here. Everything does come together. And even though these are all deluxe figures, you can see there is a size difference going on with them, which I really do appreciate. It honestly does give a more authentic feel to them. And then just bringing in just one other figure, because I like doing it. I like bringing in my little John Bailey. Here is Soundwave, if I can get him to stand. There we go. I mean, that looks great. That's such a great group of figures. I'm really quite impressed. And obviously, we've seen Ironhide in the film, so a repaint and maybe even a slight retool of this one it has got to be in the works. First articulation, the head is on a ball joint, so you can get a pretty good range of motion with that. The shoulders here rotate. They also hinge in and out. You have a bicep swivel. You also have an elbow hinge. Wrists don't do anything. They kind of lock into place, but you can detach that and kind of move them in and out if you really want to. You have a waist swivel. You have hips that move forward and back, in and out. They also rotate at the upper part of the thigh, also kind of part of the transformation. Then you have a bend at the knee. You have ankles that move forward and back, and they also have the tilt. It's not as prominent of a tilt. You can see it's a slight tilt, but it's enough to allow you to spread out his legs decently. So overall, gorgeous figure, really very well done. Cleans up nicely, as you can see, and just looks super cool. Now, for his transformation back, again, I've talked about this. It's a bit origami-ish, and it's kind of hard to remember. So I'm going to rotate these around like that. Rotate these around. Hopefully that's the right way. Just kind of sitting that there for right now. Let's take these fists. We're going to rotate these down and around. These arms, come around here to the back, detach this, swivel that out, and then this whole section is going to come out like that. Keep these arms down like so, and then they're going to angle back like that. So that's kind of how you want to have that. This entire section here, lift this up and separate that. Yeah, there we go. Detach that, fold this piece up, kind of bring that entire thing out like so. Take these feet. You're going to tuck these back and around, and then rotate him at the thigh. This whole section is going to come up then And basically you got this little section right here where you want to kind of rest this on his hip. So it's going to be like that. And then take this, rotate that around. All of this then kind of accordions and bends. Gets out of the way. That's going to be that way. And maybe I had that rotated the wrong way. Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, let's see. There we go. That's going to rotate around towards the bottom. There we go. And then this all is going to accordion down and around. And I think I actually got it in the right way. Wow, that's pretty impressive. That might have been the first time I've ever got that origami the right way. So rotate that around. Now, there's a whole bunch of different connecting points right here. You got a little tab right here that's going to tab into the inside of his thigh. It's a little bit tricky to do, but line that up. And then right here, you're going to see a little post on the bottom here of the forearm. You can kind of see it right there. It's going to slot into a section on the top of his foot. That locks it in right there. So now you have it connected there and there. Then you can bring this in. This piece right here is going to connect to a little tab right here. Just kind of sandwich that in. There we go. Locks that in nicely. Now come around here to the other side. So again, you got this little tab up here that you kind of have to move and line that up. Connect the forearm to the underside of the foot. Bring this in. That locks that in. Very, very nice. I'm very impressed. Bring this all the way down. This is going to come over, lock down. That locks down there. Give that a good squeeze. You can take that, put that there. When you're done, there you have Ratchet back in his vehicle mode. And again, really quite impressive what they're able to do in terms of giving very accurate CGI images, or taking the CGI image and recreating very accurate robot modes and then creating a vehicle mode to kind of go along with it is really quite impressive. I'm loving everything. There has not been, I don't think, a full-size Studio Series figure that I haven't liked from the new Bumblebee movie. I mean, initially, the Bumblebee figures were a little bit hairy, but in general, these guys have been turning out absolutely wonderfully. All extremely, extremely well done. And honestly, I wasn't planning on really creating a display for the Bumblebee movie in my collection. But now, I absolutely am. And now I gotta try to find that Optimus Prime. But, beyond that, guys, that's about it. There's your look at the new Transformers Studio Series, Transformers Bumblebee, Deluxe Class Ratchet. As before, this figure was purchased from an overseas seller, but he will be hitting various retail locations fairly soon. So if you are looking for him, good luck and happy hunting. Once again, I want to send a huge shout out to all of you who tuned in and watched my videos. And finally, guys, remember that the real trouble with the world is that too many people grow up. Again, thank you all for watching and taking the time to be a kid.